Good morning, YouTube. It's Sunday. We're going Vlogbrother style for this video. This video comes to you in two parts. First, a reflection. It's been an insane year. One brand new album release, 4 concerts, 2 weddings, countless flights, a new podcast, a mildly viral video, and all that while working full-time at a job that involves none of those things. And here I sit, surrounded by fall leaves, mildly scared of spiders, with my computer currently sitting in dirt, which has me a little bit paranoid, to tell you about it all. Which brings us to the title of the video, Layers. All the stuff that's happened this year has happened not one thing after the other, but sort of all as an amalgamation of living life. Many, many layers of things happening at once. I'm really trying to shoehorn the title in. So depending on how much you follow me as a person, some of the things I mentioned may come as a complete surprise to you, and some things you may have already known about. If you've followed this channel at all, you've definitely heard about my album, You Deserve the World, and maybe you've listened to it once or twice or 3 times, or if you're me, probably about 100 times. The beginning of this year was very focused on getting that album out and doing the absolute best I could to promote it and get the most possible people to hear it. So if you have heard the album, I've done my job. And if you haven't, help me do my job. I would say all that went pretty well, but in that time, I was also in the middle of planning 2 weddings. So for those of you who don't know, my fiance, Ian, and I have been together for quite a while. She's made a couple appearances on my channel before, so you might have seen her. But we don't talk too much about our relationship in the public sphere, so here I am doing it. I proposed to her last year in October, and she's from Vietnam. Her whole family still lives in Vietnam, so we decided to have 2 weddings, one in Vietnam for her family and one in the States for my family. So the Vietnam wedding happened in July, and the US wedding is happening 6 days from when I filmed this on November 1st in New Jersey. It's kind of funny, for the past couple months we've been in like a half-married state. I call her my fiance in English, but my wife in Vietnamese, and I'm really excited to not have that dichotomy anymore after November 1st, where I can just actually call her my wife. I don't get into it too much on this channel, but I'm so excited to finally be marrying the love of my life and be able to actually call her my wife. That said, planning 2 weddings is a lot, and all this has been happening through the process of releasing an album and doing concerts and trying to make content and starting a new podcast with my friends and all that sort of stuff. It's been a crazy year, y'all. I'm not going to go through like every day of the year, but I do want to tell you about July, because you've seen parts of July on this channel, but you haven't seen all of it, and oh my god, it was an insane month. I overextended myself. I would not recommend it. So in July was the Rubik's Cube World Championships in Seattle, as many of you know. I'm a speed cuber. I've been a speed cuber for more than half my life, so of course I'm going to go to Worlds when it's in my home country. That said, I live on the other side of the country, so it's about a 5-6 hour flight from here to Seattle. And not only was I competing in Worlds, but also as a rapper who has a lot of people in the Cuban community who listen to my music, I decided to do a concert at Worlds, which ended up being definitely, like, by far the best concert I've ever done. We sold 133 tickets, which is insane. Like, I still think about that number and it feels unreal to me. Like, I'm just so grateful that that many people showed up to listen to me rant about whatever I rant about on You Deserve the World. And if you saw the vlog from that concert, you'll know that I was like a little sick going into that flight. So I didn't give my absolute best possible performance because my voice still wasn't 100% back. And I overextended myself so much on that trip that I think it extended how long I was sick for. So just listen to my travel itinerary in July, because this was ridiculous. I went into it knowing that it was ridiculous, but I did it anyway. So Worlds ended July 6th, Sunday night. That night, immediately after the competition, I took a red-eye home to New Jersey. I landed early morning and I was dead. I barely slept on the flight at all. My voice was completely gone. My dad picked me up from the airport and said it was kind of eerie how little I moved in the car ride. Like, I was so out of it. I was just like dead tired, still recovering from whatever sickness I had. And I had to get on a flight to Vietnam less than 24 hours after that for the Vietnam wedding. So I got to my parents' place in Jersey. I drank a little lemon tea, crashed in my bed for a few hours, packed for Vietnam, and somehow mustered up the energy to get in the car, go to the airport, and start my 24-hour flight to Vietnam. In the end, my body was strong. By the time I landed in Vietnam, I felt great. I don't know how I did it. I'm grateful that I pulled through, but it was intense. And then we had the Vietnam wedding, which was just an amazing time. We had some friends come from the US, which was awesome too. And I still look back on that day as probably the best day of my life. It was incredible. Layers. Planning the biggest concert of my life a week before my wedding was a choice. And I'm about to have the second half of the wedding in the US, and just 3 weeks later, I'm doing another concert. I'm a lot less stressed this time, though. I mentioned this video would come to you in 2 parts. This is the second part, your favorite, an advertisement. So on November 21st, which is a Friday, I'm doing a concert in Washington, D.C. at a venue called Legacy Hi-Fi with 3 friends of mine. The concert is called Layers to sort of evoke like fall emotions of wearing multiple layers of clothing and layers of leaves and layers of performers at the concert. I did not come up with the name, but on further reflection, I realized just how much that name actually accurately reflects the 2025 I've had so far, as I just talked about in this video. So the show is featuring me and 3 other artists from the DC area, Tyler on Demand, Alexander Henry, and you know and love him from my new podcast, The Vibe. It's going to be a crazy night of all the R genres. We've got some rap, we've got some R&B, we've got some rock, and it's really all about camaraderie and bringing people together for a fun night as the weather gets a little colder. It's also the Friday night right before Thanksgiving, so we'll be extra grateful to anybody who shows up. Tickets are only $10 if you buy in advance, and you get 4 performers for that price, so I mean, it's a pretty good deal in my humble opinion. I'll be selling some merch there. I'll be doing my favorite songs off You Deserve the World and some songs from before then too. So if you haven't gotten the chance to come see me live yet and you're in the DC area, I would strongly recommend it. I'm really excited for this concert. I think it's going to be a great time. And if you have seen me live, you already know it's going to be a good time, so please pull up. I'll leave the ticket link in the description if you want to check it out. I would greatly appreciate any support. Layers. Anyway, I'm going to get my computer out of the dirt now. Thanks for watching. See you at the concert, and I'll see you in my next video.